Good day. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope your week is starting off great. It's good to be here. Excited to talk to you guys tonight. I want to say hello to everyone in chat. I see a lot of you guys have been talkative. I think Epic Badger working from home. I see Johnny Sorensen. Mate, I hope that the job works out as well as it can. I know that feeling well. Bjorn Jorgensen forgot it was Monday, thought it was Wednesday, skipped 2 whole days. I see Will, who did get out of work more or less on time. Good. Awesome. Ian Sweeney, Nolan, Keith Knight. Good evening to yourself, sir. Anonymous Dude 123. I appreciate that very much. And we're just doing the best that we can. I thank you. Let's see who else we got. We got Ben Stetley, who is here on time. Let's see, Rolando, and I see Jim Largo, and Kieran Ball, and Sergeant Lars Isles. Hey, Zazel, what's up, mate? I think I got everybody. So I hope y'all are doing well. Obviously the thumbnail alludes to our main topic for this evening, which I'm sure we all have a lot of opinions about. I certainly do, but we're going to save that for last, if you will. So I'm going to hop right into just a couple little pieces of news. Again, kind of a slow week for news, which is totally okay. But let me show you what I got. So this Black Adam Target exclusive went up for pre-order, but it doesn't say it's in stock. It's a weird thing. And it's a $20 piece. And you guys are going to laugh at me, but I'm kind of digging that throne. I don't care about the figure. I don't care about the character, but that throne's kind of neat. Kind of has some custom fodder vibes to it. So I'm tempted. I am tempted. So I always try to look at things beyond just what they are and try to go with what they could be. I'm not a McFarlane guy. Definitely not a DC Cinematic Universe guy for the most part. And, I just wanted to bring this to your attention if you're into that sort of thing. Because, I don't think anyone here is really excited for Black Adam. It doesn't look like it's going to be much of a great film at all. But Wow, internet dropped completely. Sorry, guys. Really, really apologize about that. Um, so, speaking of things that are good deals, I'm not as excited as I was, and I'll explain in a second. Obviously, the Star Trek Director's Edition is coming out or has come out. My pre-order just went poof, and I can't find the 4K Blu-ray version of it in the U.S. But nevertheless, the other movies in the series are getting a similar treatment with the 4K. Earlier today, this was available for $11.99 for a couple hours. It's still down to $20, which is not bad for a 4K at all. It comes with a Blu-ray and a digital copy. It's got all kinds of recovered footage. If you're into Rathacon, $20 is still a good deal. But I managed to get that sucker for $12. So that is an entire thing. So keep an eye on it if you're into that sort of a thing. And if anyone finds a good listing of the actual American 4K for Star Trek 1 Director's Edition, let me know, because that pre-order just went poof. I can't find it. So I'm trying to look for it. And if I can't find it, there's a good chance that it actually did go poof. There's a European one that's available, but that's about it. Kieran asked if that's the director's cut. It's every cut of the film, including all the TV footage, which I think is what the director's cut is. But it has every cut of the film, and it's supposed to be a great transfer and looks great. So for me, totally worth it. Totally worth it. Also, hi, Bill. I see. Shh, everyone's not talking about him. He's back. Shh, 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 shh. Kieran Ball says, Black Adam's such a turkey, it killed the stream. Not wrong. Not wrong. Speaking of potential turkeys, okay, I had originally pre-ordered this, and when it came my turn to get it shipped, I decided against it. So, but they look cool, and the price isn't horrible. So, these are the G.I. Joe Classified Blue Ninja 2-pack, and they're $45. So for the two figures, you're spending around $22 a piece. That's not bad for classifieds at this point. They're interesting sculpts. They're pretty cool, but because of the price point, I was like, it's not bad, not bad at all. But I decided I didn't need them, so I canceled my pre-order. So if it is something that that's up your alley, Amazon has them for $45. Wanted to bring that up to you guys. Ted Millich, welcome to the stream, says 4K for you is good YouTube show to watch. 4K disc release. 4K for you is good YouTube show to watch to catch 4K disc releases. Yes, fair enough. I just read Blu-ray.com myself. It's a whole thing. Look, you stay here, make sure he doesn't leave. Look, you stay here, make sure he doesn't leave. Oh, see, right. Yeah, I pick up what you're going down. Jim Larkin says, I've already seen folks opening Blue Ninjas from Amazon and finding broken arms on figures. Wow, lucky escape for me, folks. Lucky escape. Steven says, sorry, late. Don't worry about it. The stream went down for about a minute and a half, so you're okay. We're just getting started. Epic Badger says, I can't spend money on ninjas. I have to buy Amazon out of their full stock of Scarlets. Fair. And I'm not helping with that. I've actually made it worse because I decided I wanted one of your variants. So it's so hard. Speaking of things that are hard to say no to, Fujimi Evangeline Velociraptor model kits are on HLJ. It's kind of great. Look at this. Isn't that awesome? They're just cool little Velociraptors. They come on sprues and the orange, and they're Velociraptors. What do you want? I mean, they're just interesting to me. I was like, what? What are you talking about? It's crazy. It's crazy. But again, if you're into it, definitely check those out. Those are pretty cool. Just little tiny things. Kieran Ball says that they've released Star Trek 4K 1 to 4 in a box set and 1 to 6 in a box set. That's true. They have. I don't want the box sets. I just honestly, I only wanted 1 and 2 in the 4K. I have the Blu-ray sets for the original films already. I just really want the director's edition at all, and I figure for the money, might as well get the 4K. I definitely want Khan in 4K, especially at that price, because, hello, it's the Wrath of Khan. It's Wrath of Khan. Ken says, came for Ghost Rider talk, stayed for the Raptor. Fair enough. Ted Miller says he saw some Jurassic Park puzzle dinosaurs at Walmart. Right on. Right on. Folks, I believe that Ken's also going live tonight almost immediately after the show. So be sure to check out his discussion tonight. And then after that, Will might be going on stream for a little bit to talk toys with folks. So it's a triple header tonight that we didn't quite plan out, but we kind of did. So it's kind of interesting and fun. And now, on the other end of that spectrum, there's an Indiana Jones brand panel coming up for PulseCon. We knew this was coming, but it's coming up on October 1st, and we don't know what to expect except pain. What are your predictions for the PulseCon? Pain. I don't know what to make of this. And I want to do my best to reserve judgment until such time as until we actually see it. But, you know, I don't know what all this weird globally stuff is going on there. I have no idea. I don't know what they're thinking. 7:15 Eastern. Okay, perfect. That should work out just fine. Jim Largo says, Batman 89 graphic novel showed up today. The art looks great. Okay. I look forward to hearing about that. Now it says, toy TV is greater than cable TV. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Bjorn thinks that they're going to have role-play items and digital renders of figures. I'm like, that's a pretty safe assumption. I'm not concerned about them showing off prototypes. I want to know what they're talking about. Like, which figures? What size? Are they doing playsets? Are they doing vehicles? I want to see how deep into the line they're actually going to end up going. And chances are they're going to play it real safe and cagey and whatever. So Bill says, between Hasbro, Pulse, and Mattel Creations, I've about decided to quit buying new toys. I mean, that's fair. I get it. Now, every week I got to bring you something that just makes you go, what? So for this week, it's this Aliens Fireteam Elite Concept Masterline Prowler Alien statue. $805 US for a statue that is, I mean, it's cool. It looks cool. Not $805 cool. And it's from, and granted, they said it's a Prowler alien, which is kind of a takeoff of the Alien 3 model. So it's 15 inches, which is cool. But again, it's not $800 cool. I can't think of many things that are $800 cool. But I want it. Ian Sweeney with a very good point. I want it life-size for that price. I agree. For that price, it should be life-size and articulated. Epic says you buy that to keep in whichever room you don't want your dog going into. And Jim Largo with a very on-brand point. He'd rather Army build Xenozillas. Well, we have some things coming to help you with that, for sure. And if I recall correctly, Rolo specifically is starting to pack your items today. I don't know how far he got, because he wanted to make sure that we took extra special care of our friends' boxes. So, Stephen S. says that statue's a ploy for money to burst out of your wallet. You're right. Ted Miller says there better only be one of these for $800. There better be only one. And Jonathan Redmond with a very good point that I agree with. I don't understand the appeal of statues. I mean, there's very few statues that I understand. The occasional bust, like there was these Alex Ross busts that came out at the turn of the century, like the Spider-Man ones. Loved them. But But that's, again, it's something where if I have an Alex Ross bust of Spider-Man, I also want one of Doctor Doom. I want one of Venom. And I want one of the. So, and they didn't release all of those in that scale with that artist. So I'm just like, forget it. I still regret not getting the Alex Ross bust of Spider-Man. It's one of those things that, like, it's housewarming gift territory for myself when the time comes, because I just love that thing and had a chance to get it, didn't get it. Feel like an idiot. Now, speaking of things I'm probably not going to get, but I find interesting, is this Master of the Universe Netflix Castle Grayskull. And it scales fairly well with Origins. I mean, you could technically do that, but the style's clearly different, but it has electronics and lights and movement and all this stuff. And it's $100. And for all the electronics and all the stuff packed into it, for that price, it does give me makes me not worry as much about Eternia, pardon me. But this is cool. It's a nice little guy. It's a 20-inch wide piece, so it's pretty honking big. And I didn't realize it was going up, but you can buy it right now. And in some cases, they say the price is going lower and stuff like that. Once again, this is one of those things that has custom written all over it. You could probably do some really interesting things with this playset. I am not a fan of this weird, oops, I dropped my watercolor brush spackle. I don't understand why it has purple spackle on it at all. But the bones are good. Like, there's a whole lot of cool stuff going on in this playset, and you could probably have some fun with it, especially at the price. So, if you're the kind of person that wants to make customs out of your playsets, don't sleep on that. It's not bad. This is the same shirt that I had on yesterday, because I only wore it while I was on your show yesterday. True story. Nolan says, I'm not liking that version too much, but it's pretty cool looking. Fair enough. Johnny says, cool play features. More like Micromaster based on a Mo 2, though. I agree. Very similar. Bjorn even says, neat design. Might be able to customize a Cobra Castle. Exactly. There's a lot of things you could probably do with that, depending upon what it is you would potentially want from it. So, with all of that said, Anonymous says, glad He-Man's kicking and thriving new generation. Me too. Bjorn says, or a Stormtrooper castle for smaller Stormtroopers. There you go. Definitely stuff to be done. Bone Collector Castle. Okay. He's like, okay, with the shirt. I get it. I actually have changed my underwear. That's true. 100% true. So now we get to our main thing. It's a Ghost Rider, Marvel Legends, HasLab. It's crap. And I saw this tweet that kind of pissed me off. This is one of the guys that work on the HasLabs. And he says the tiers will be of a demonic persuasion that are not necessarily tied to Robbie Reyes' version of Ghost Rider, a.k.a. Ghost Rider villains. There'll be 6-inch figures, not other accessories like bikes or horses, which are great ideas. And here's what he says. If this HasLab is not for you, then no worries and thanks. And I'm like, dude, that's a really passive-aggressive way of saying if you don't like it, don't buy it. And it's like, well, people aren't buying it because they don't like it, because you missed the fucking mark, bro. Missed the mark on this. And my reply was something, I'm trying to find it. It should be at the top, but it's not. I don't even know what that's about. This is now my favorite video. More tweets. What the hell? Why would that makes no sense? Anyway, I said something to the effect of, it's not the idea, it's the price point. And I just don't get it. I just don't understand why this is what they're leading off with. Okay? And everyone's like, there's stretch goals. I'm like, look, if you have stretch goals for something like this, The fact is your base item should be priced for the base item, because if you don't hit the stretch goals, that's what they're paying for that item. Okay? A stretch goal should be, we get this many people to pay for this, we can afford to give you this much more. That's what it's supposed to be. And $350 for that? No way. I don't care how cool the car looks. I don't care how many lights you put in it. And it's like, this isn't the Ghost Rider that most people that are Ghost Rider fans want. No Ghost Rider fans that I know give a hoot about this version of Ghost Rider at all. It's the anniversary of the character, not this version of the character. I don't understand. So no bike. They've teased Mephisto, and they've also said in various places that they're not going to be releasing these figures anywhere else because they're demonic. And that part I kind of understand. But if that's what you're doing, then you release the version of Ghost Rider that most people want. Yes, they have a retail Ghost Rider coming out that is a bit more closer to what we're used to with Ghost Rider, but it's not a Johnny Blaze, and there's certainly no bike. So we're possibly going to get a Blackheart, a Mephisto, and there's a few other figures that could be in there. But even if you take 4 figures at an average of $25 a pop, it's $100. There's still a $250 unaccounted for, and I don't understand how they're trying to justify even $250 for this. That's a $150 set at best, and it's just not. I don't care, and they're going to wonder why this thing doesn't go gangbusters. But people are snapping it up because I think there's so much FOMO around the Rogues Gallery. And it's just horrible. Jim Largo says it's a nice vehicle, but they're sniffing exhaust fumes. I think it's worth $350. I agree. Keith Knight doesn't wear underpants. The cage is open, but the beast is asleep. Fair enough. Kieran Ball says this is not the Ghost Rider I'm looking for. Same. Rear-wheel drive car. Ooh. Will says hard pass on this. No one wanted the horse and rider. Viewers of the Ghost Rider I know of has the leather jacket. Most of them do. This one, I don't know what this is supposed to be. Like Iron Man Ghost Rider? I don't get it. I have no doubt that Dan Yun is a good person. He seems like he really means well, and he's trying to be communicative with the fans and at a time when he doesn't have to be. But if you're going to put yourself out there, maybe leave the passive aggressiveness at home. That's my problem with and I've seen multiple tweets where it's like this. Like, if you don't like it, that's cool. It's whatever. And it that means that the complaints about what they're offering fall on deaf ears. It's like, if you're trying to be fan centric, maybe explain why you went with this version of the character. Who told you we wanted this? Does anyone in chat know anybody that's interested in this character? Especially at a premium price like this? I doubt it. And for him to say to go out of his way to say, here's what's going to happen. If you don't like it, basically fuck off. And I'm sure he's a good guy. I'm sure he meant well, but someone's got to teach him how to work with tone a little bit, because it was a little bit dismissive, a lot dismissive, to be honest with you. And it just didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. And I don't respond to that shit very well. And it's a shame, because for the anniversary of Ghost Rider, we should be getting something more classic Ghost Rider. I just feel they should. And you're right, Epic. He doesn't look like Nicolas Cage at all. Will wanted a Ghost Rider that was also a lighter. I mean, that would be kind of cool. I wouldn't pay $350 for that either, but it'd be kind of cool. Steven says that Hasbro's telling us they want us to sell our souls. I mean, they want to sell whatever it takes to get $350. I agree. Yawn. Jonathan says the stretch goals are everywhere else are bonus items for supporters of the Kickstarter, but for Hasbro, they're factored in the overall price from the start. Exactly, which is stupid. It's stupid. Bjorn wants a Nicolas Cage head sculpt for a funny custom. Like, they're out there. They're certainly out there. Johnny Sorensen says, for that price, we should get Blaze, Ketch, and Ray and roll out the bikes again. I agree. But bikes aren't going to... He confirmed there's no more bikes coming, which is stupid. And for me, that just means I'm probably going to grab another one of those Wolverine with the bikes and customize that for the Ghost Rider that I'm getting. I'll just paint it up black or whatever, and it's the only thing I can do. Will says they did 2 bikes and a horse, maybe. That and still be a big maybe. And he said, plus the car. Exactly. Too many HasLabs a year? Not wrong, Ted. Jim Largo says the Reyes Ghost Rider is a Latino, so he checks off all the diversity boxes. I don't know if that's really what it's about, and I don't want to go down that road. Except to say that I think that version of the character is perfectly valid. The depictions I've seen of that character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought was great. But for the anniversary of the character, just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Gojatron says, this will fund because people want the car, not the character. Yeah, they want the car, and I think they want the stretch figures as well. But that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a car. And Bill's like, I'm spending my money with Lee Customs. I mean, I get you, for sure. Jonathan with a great point. It's like, it's gotten crazy. One HasLab ends, and then another one starts within a month. And it's like, they just don't... I don't know what they think they're doing. I don't understand. Like, how much money do you think people have? And they don't care because the numbers keep adding up, and it's like, okay. Okay. Key says, the car looks pretty good. The figure's crappy looking. Not worth the money either way. Agreed. Steven says, when are we going to get a needless warmonger from HasLab next at $400? I mean, are we? Probably. Who knows? Who knows at this point? Ian Sweeney says, I did like the portrayal of the Reyes Ghost Rider Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but HasLab will never be a financial option to me, even if I like the item. No, I don't like this one. Fair enough. Fender with a lol. Right back at you, lol. Badger says, there are 112 scale bikes on Amazon for $12 to $18. Image show classified figures riding them. Get me some links, bro. Discord me them links, because I'm into it. Anonymous Dude says, there's a newer generation of fans that know this version. I speculate they went with the car because of the success of the hiss. I mean, yeah, possibly. I mean, that's not outside of the realm of possibilities. Jonathan Redmond also says the Cosmic Ghost Rider and bike, which were 100% new sculpts, were both sold for 40 quid. Exactly. And they already had those sculpts. Why not just modify those sculpts and release them for 100? You know, if they want to make money, just the whole thing. Jim Largo asks if this version of Ghost Rider is going to be pushed as part of Phase 4 Avengers are trying to assemble. Good idea. Good question, rather. I have no idea. It's probably going to show up somewhere. And if the character's done well, like, I'm okay with it. But I just feel like if that's the case, now is not the time to put this out. You know what I mean? Karen Ball says, I could buy the Funko Pop Ghost Rider for the bike. It wouldn't scale, would it? No one says, save my money for Serpentor and Eternia. Exactly. Steven's asking if they learned anything from the Rancor debacle or Cookie Monster. Clearly not. Jonathan says, the Hiss Tank is an iconic vehicle with 40 years of history. This version of Ghost Rider is relatively new. It is. He is relatively new. And that doesn't mean he shouldn't get a figure. I just don't think it's a HasLab super exclusive, crazy off the top thing. You know, they would sell more of these, even if it was the car, if the figure were a version that a wider range of people were into. It's kind of weird. Gojatron, I can hear this in your voice too, dude. He says, Ghost Rider's not an Avenger. He fits with horror characters. They're introducing in Blade and Werewolf by Night. Fair enough. Absolutely. Steve's like, screw this HasLab. I'll go get those toilet bots. This one's in the shitter anyway. And Jonathan says, Eternia is going to be wicked expensive. That He-Man 4-pack has anything to go by. It isn't, though, because that's meant to be like a limited edition. They printed so many of them for the show, and then that's it. Whereas Eternia is going to be a made-to-order thing, just like what they did with Grizzlor and so forth. It'll be expensive. It'll be at least $300. I hope it's less than that. I hope it's $250. That would be, if it was $250 plus shipping. Oh, I'd be so happy. Get away with that. Now, the Badger did come through with a link to a couple of these bikes he's talking about, so I figured I'd show you guys what he's talking about. So this is a $15 bike. It's just a model. Doesn't do anything crazy. But it looks nice, and the price is really good. And he said to go down to the reviews show a classified Cobra Trooper on there. It is a little small for him. Some reviewers say it's the right size for Marvel Legends. I can see that happening. There's a ace with a lighter. Yeah. So there's definitely some potential there. And for the price, it's not bad at all. You know. So I'd definitely want to experiment with these and figure it out. But that's definitely a hell of a lot better than $350 freaking dollars. Drives me up a wall, guys. Ken says the Mattel Creations WWE ring and light up set plus 3 figures was $250. I bet Eternia is double. Bite your tongue. But it's possible. Speaking of Eternia, is anyone here going to buy it? If at all possible, I'm buying it. I fully intend to have one. Jonathan Rubin says he sees the Eternia being $500 to $800 easily because of that. Yeah, but it's a different property. You know, even though it's still Mattel and everything else, like, I got to be honest. Like, I understand where they're going, but you have to understand that the toys, WWE, Motu Origins stuff, like, that's a really niche crossover. Did not sell that great. So I understand that being that price. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying stop giving them ideas on how much they should charge. $250 to $300 is plenty. Plenty. Jim Largo says you can still get the Mattel Creations Batmobile remote control vehicle for around $100, same size as the Ghost Rider car. There you go. Not bad. Karen Ball says there is a Marvel Legends Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider and bike set. Yes, but you can't get it at retail price. They could have released a reissue or an upgraded version of that for this. Keith asked if these come as a kit if they're ready-made. Those look like they're just in the box as a single piece. Let me show you. So according to the pictures, it just comes in the box, all ready to go. So again, for that price, it's worth the shot. It's worth the shot. No one says, I'm planning on getting Eternia unless it's way overpriced. And I think for everyone, it's going to vary on what overpriced means for you. Bill says, I want to see that set up in your room. Not going to happen. That son of a bitch is going to basically, just like Castle Grayskull, I'm going to take it out of the shipping box, show it off in box, and then say, this waits until I have another place. That's the fact. Because there's no way I'm going to try. Set that thing up in here. There's no way on Godzilla's Green Earth. Anonymous Dude says that the campaign for Ghost Rider is doing fairly well. It is. Says could be more attractive as time goes by and tiers are revealed. To me, it boils down to this. I think that the tiers are probably going to be great. I'm probably going to want those figures. But I'm not giving them that much money for 4 figures. I don't want the car. I don't want that Ghost Rider. I want those figures. And it's just shady shit to do that, where it's like, you could release this Ghost Rider thing as a thing and do some cool features with it, and then do another HasLab just for the Rogues Gallery, because that would be something really cool. But no, they just lump them into all one thing. Well, either you get this or you get nothing. Really dick move on their part. No, I never said that the Mattel WWE figures are much more expensive than Motu. Never made that claim. The point being that the market share is smaller. Less people buy them. So, they've got 2 Castle Grayskulls out for $100. If you take 2 or 3 Castle Grayskulls and put them together, it's $300. I realize there's mechanism and stuff. I'll even say 400 is probably closer to where they're actually going to end up, because they're going to try to justify it with all the whatever. Now, what we don't know is if that is going to have tiers or stretch goals for that, because Mattel Creations thing, we don't know. We don't know. I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll see. Car looks like Fast and Furious. Yeah, it's true. Jonathan says releasing that new Ghost Rider without a bike is just as dumb as hell. Not like Hasbro haven't done a ton of bikes before. Precisely. And maybe that's their thought process. And I can see that conversation happening, where they say, we've done a lot of bikes. Let's do something different. Let's go big. And I respect that decision, but not at that price point. Once again, it comes down to that damn price. It's too much to ask for something like that. Epic Badger saw a WWE ATV and a semi-truck at Target for $20 and $50 respectively. Next time you're in there, shoot some pictures at me. They look kind of cool. They sound kind of cool. Steven says, I'll just take that money and go get an actual lower grade Ghost Rider #1 Volume 1. There you go. Jonathan says, Mephisto will sell this HasLab for sure unless they put it at tier 4 and just piss tons of people off. I'm sure there's things they're going to be really pissed off about, for sure. They'd probably put Mephisto at tier 4, I bet you. Steven asks, we're going to get a bunch of bones offered with it. Who knows? Cardboard background for what? For Eternia? I have no idea. Based on the pictures we have from SDCC, I don't think so. No one says, I'm thinking even if they knock $75 off of it, would have been a bit more attractive. I agree. Under $300, around that $275 mark, I could start to justify it. For something that is a limited run like that, that starts to become reasonable. So, he sent me a picture. And get that pulled up for you guys. That's pretty cool. Like, these could probably, and I've seen some custom videos with the crane one, with the rig, like customizing it for Action Force. The ATV has a lot of potential. Get that ATV and paint her up, do some Action Force, G.I. Joe kind of stuff with it. Especially for $20, that ain't bad. And that's the regular price, too. I mean, lots of potential there. It's got a ramp on the back. You could probably build up and do some cool stuff with it. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I like that. Karen Ball asked if anyone's picked up the recent plasticless Marvel Legends Spider-Man sets. They're all hitting $100 each, price tag UK. The only one I've picked up is the Amazing Fantasy one, just by himself, but the 2-packs I haven't touched. The only one that I'm looking at getting is the symbiote set. There's 3 symbiotes in there. That one I like. The rest of them, I said, fuck it. I decided not to do it. Um, yeah, I pre-ordered the Spinneret set, and I at the last second I said I don't need this. He does look thrilled to be on the ATV, doesn't he, Jason? Hi, Andy. Badger's got to walk the dog. Says catch y'all at the end of the stream, or will stream, or can stream. You know, you never know. So it's a whole thing. But at the end of the day, I just don't think that this provides a lot of value for the money that they're trying to charge. I think it's just not appropriate to what most people would traditionally expect for Ghost Rider in general. That doesn't mean that this figure shouldn't come out or that it's invalid, but when you combine that Ghost Rider with that car at that price with figures that people really want, which is a clear kind of a trap to get you to buy the stuff that they're scared wouldn't sell. Like, you don't put things in a HasLab with figures that they know will sell just because they're scared something won't sell. Like, that's not a good business decision. It isn't, because it's just not fan friendly. Like, now, are they going to make money off of it? Sure. So by that logic, great decision. But I don't think it's right. Warman Cardboard says, you could buy 3 or 4 Eternias or Ghost Riders. You know you're rolling in it. I'm rolling in it. I don't know what it is, but I am rolling in it. You know what I'm rolling in? Stress, sometimes. If they accept stress as a form of payment, I'm in. Hey, man, what's up? Right back at you, Ricky. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So, I don't really have a bunch of pickups this week. I had an impulse buy over the weekend, and I don't know how he went on sale, but it's a whole renaissance for me with G.I. Joe Classifieds, where stuff that comes out isn't hard to get. It's kind of crazy. And speaking of that, I got me a Spirit. And he looks freaking great. $22. Still more expensive than I would like for them to be, but comparing this to Marvel Legends that are 25, okay, and looking at all the different accessories you get with it, it's more or less cartoon accurate, but still looks rugged and fun. For me, that's a decent price, because Action Force is similar, but comes with way more and is better quality, and those are $30. So this is the right price point in terms of competition. $22 for a single G.I. Joe Classified figure. I think that's the sweet spot for this stuff. And I'm very happy to have him. Very, very, very happy to have him. Key says, I have 8 cats. I'm often rolling and treading in it. It being cat shit. You just got a Clamp Champ? Yeah, those went down in price. Those got really inexpensive. That's a great figure, too. It's a really great figure. Good for you, bro. Ian Sweeney says, I must admit I'm kind of glad the majority of HasLabs are things I don't want. I'm kind of in the same boat. So many vintage toys out there, non-mint, are way cheaper. I want way more. Fair enough. Daniel Karhunen, welcome, says the Spirit looks awesome. Thank you. I think he does, too. Anonymous Dude says Spirit is a figure of the year. Yeah, I would say he's up there, especially for classifieds. Like, he's probably the best classified figures come out yet. Like, he checks all the boxes. Looks realistic enough, but harkens back to the cartoon. Got your eagle with it. Got great accessories. Just a beautiful piece. Beautiful piece. No one says, just picked up a Masterverse Beastman this weekend. Nice! That's a pretty good looking figure, man. It's a pretty good looking figure in general. Ricky says, there's multiple toys I want to buy, but the money I had saved was for my Steam Deck and accessories. I hear ya. I looked at those pretty hard, the Steam Deck, and I said, I don't need a mobile PC. I just don't. I have a Switch. That's enough for me. Because I just, yeah, next month, Retropalooza. We were just talking about it this morning, actually, because we're getting some stuff designed. So the booth looks nice, and I have business cards and all this stuff. Stephen S. bought a Storm Shadow Classified this week. Mine is about to come in at Big Bad, and I'm excited. Very excited. Last toy Bjorn bought was 2 ODST drop pods from Halo. Yes, 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 yes. It's very cool. Bill has a Lee Customs head on the way for a vintage look. For the Clamp Champ, I'd be interested to see that. So when it comes in, absolutely show that off on your show because I want to see that bugger. Because he's not the most popular character, but I always thought Clamp Champ was cool, man. Melvor says that Spirit should have come with a pterodactyl instead of an eagle. You'd have bought him. So you're saying this guy, you replace that bird with a fucking dinosaur. It's fair enough. It's fair enough. I mean, comes with a great backpack and a sniper rifle, a throwing knife, a hunting knife, a Beretta, and a beautiful bald eagle. But you're like, no, I want a fucking dinosaur with him. What's wrong with you? I like pterodactyls more than the average Joe. Spirit comes with a goddamn bald eagle, you hear me? You're Texan, born and raised. How can I be more American than you? I had to slap you next time I see you. Just kidding. Steven says, only drawback he has gloves on. I mean, there's nothing wrong with gloves. Don't encourage him, Ricky. Jason Garcia says, all these cool American toys, I'm over here side-eyeing my figure arts. I don't blame you. They're beautiful. And they're expensive. I get it. Yes, I know it's a Turok reference. I've played the game. I get it. I get it. I'm just trying to be funny, you see. You're thinking about getting another Spirit? You should. Especially for the price, dude. Johnny's got to hop out. You have a great one as well, sir. Love you to death, man. Thanks for being here and all your feedback. Oh, another Storm Shadow. Okay. Customizers use the Eagle Freedom for John Cena Peacemaker figure. I can see that. It's a good idea. Bjorn, you think everything should come with a tiger. So why don't we just assume you want everything to come with a tiger? It'll save you a lot of typing. We know that you want anatomically correct tigers with every figure sold anywhere in the world. You want that to happen every single time. And this is on record. Someone come back and clip that, and you can just paste it anytime he starts revving up. Ricky says, if Borderlands had gotten better figures, I would have loved one of the bird. Fair enough. Well, thank you. I mean, Grumpy Bear, what are you going to do? Oh, pardon me, not necessarily anatomically correct. Oh, keeping me guessing. It's just funny, man. But, HasLab in general, as you guys know, sometimes, like with the His tank, I was trying very hard to justify it, and I just couldn't. Because I wanted one. I wanted a His tank. But it's like they said before. When they did a re-release of the retro version of the His tank, and it was like $30-$40 at most at any given time, you just double that thing in size. Quite literally. You just double it in size. That's double the plastic. So that's no more than $80, $100. $100 would have been a stretch, but I would have paid it. No one asked for all the extra LED horse shit. Ugh, so frustrating. Bill wants me to drink water. Well, I finished this before I started, so I don't have any water on me. I've been drinking a lot of water today, though. I promise. And I'm being careful as well. Keith Knight says, not necessarily anatomically correct, just with a bright... I should have known better than to click on this. What am I going to do with you two? Now Ricky's drinking water for me. What's the world coming to when people are like proxy hydrating? I used to play bass for Proxy Hydra. It was pretty good. Kidding. I'm kidding. But whether it's HasLab or Mattel Creations or Kickstarters, I'm getting more and more disillusioned with them the more time goes on. I'm going to give Mattel Creations the benefit of the doubt with Eternia because we don't know yet. I don't want to judge them until it comes out, but I am fully prepared for it to be entirely too expensive. And there's a number in my head that if they go above it, there's no way I'm buying it. And I will go on a smear campaign talking trash if they go above that number because it's obscene if they go that high. Because I feel like there's certain amounts of money that you could justify for that in the context and everything else, but going above that's just sheer greed because they've already seen the social media engagement numbers. They know people want it. So if you know people want it, you price it reasonably and they buy it. I know that because that's exactly what happened with our toys. People freaked out on social media, so we made it available at a good price. People are buying it. That's how that shit works. Could we price our stuff higher? Yeah. Will we make more money? Probably not, because people probably wouldn't buy them. That's how that works. I don't know why it's so difficult for these businesses to figure out that you don't have to have the highest profit margin to make more money. If you get a decent profit margin and get lots of people buying them because the price is attainable, you eventually make more money in the end. But I don't think they're interested in that. Karen Ball says, the Hasbro Action Man toy line from the 90s had a Dino Mission set with 2 green Velociraptors, one with sound that would work well with 6-inch figures. That sounds cool. Melvor saying, Eternia's going to cost a ton. Just wait. You're probably right. I hope you're not. I hope I'm not right, because I know what I'm thinking. I'm not saying it. I agree with Jason. I think that's still an understandable price. Bite your tongue, but it's possible. If they go that high with it, they are going to... Exactly. Gojatron has a very good point here. He says, if Eternia is over $400, it will be a what we can get away with price. I agree. I think that $400 is probably the sweet spot because $250 to $350 is probably what a retail price would be because of the size of the damn thing. And then $400 because they're doing a short run. Like I understand. I'm not happy about that, but it makes sense. If they go above that, it's purely a money-making thing. Which, I mean, all things are money-making things, but... Well, says, excuse me, Jim, are you saying that if a company produces something that people want and charge a reasonable price, customers will buy it? What? I know. It is such a radical concept that, I gotta tip my hat to my friends that did Final Faction. That's literally what they did. Made something people want for an obscenely low price, and people were buying them up like crazy. Just based on what Carl does with Final Faction alone, I guarantee you someone's putting their kid through college right now. It's nuts. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's insanity. Insanity, folks. Insanity. So with all that said, I really appreciate everyone being here, giving your honest opinions, allowing everyone to vent a little bit about the whole Ghost Rider thing, steel ourselves mentally for what's potentially coming with other things of the ilk. But I hope that you will head over to Toy Connections for his show that'll be starting here in about 20 minutes. And then probably not long after that, if I remember the timing correctly, you're going to see Will over on Wilhelm Toy and Hobby hanging out for a bit. So by all means, make it a great night to hang out with some great folks like Toy Connections and Wilhelm. So we love you guys to death. To death. It's always great to see you guys. Look for, hopefully, some videos later this week, and certainly some Resurrection Toys news as soon as we have it for you. Rolo, if you're watching after the fact, I hope you're okay. I heard about the earthquake. Yuck. And there's a tsunami watch in Mexico right now. So please, everyone, if you have positive energy, if you pray, whatever, send it that way. Some things going down, but I'm sure he's going to be fine. But you guys are the best. We'll see you very, 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 very soon. And I've stalled enough. Good night.